on this computer. That should be good. Now it's just a, do I think it's actually recording? Because it seems like yes. Hopefully I can edit this part of me not knowing what's happening out.
Yeah, it says recording at the top, at least on my screen. So I think we're
Perfect.
good.
Let's see if I can get to the slideshow button. Yes, there we go. So, hello everyone. My name is Rhiannon Minster and I am a recruiter at Johnson County Community College. I personally went to JCCC from 2014 to 2017, and then I graduated with 2 associates. My little brother graduated in 2018 with his associates. My other brother graduated in 2021 with his, and then my sister took classes while she was in high school at Blue Valley Southwest. So I have been around for 7 years. Hopefully I'll be able to answer any questions you guys had today. And then if not, my contact info will be at the end of the presentation, so you can contact me. So normally I would have students fill out the contact card, but since we're recording this, if you choose to scan it, that just means that we will receive your contact information. So we know that you want more information, but again, my contact information will be at the end as well. And then, so we are not at JCCC today, so I thought it would be nice to show some pictures and just information about our campus. We are located in Overland Park, Kansas, at the corner of Quivira and College. We are just south of 435, and we have 24 buildings on 240 acres. That might sound a little bit big, but all of our buildings are centered in the middle of campus. And then most of our acreage is green space, like in the bottom right picture, parking lots. And then we also have a farm on campus for our agriculture students. So a lot of our acreage is in that. And then our buildings, we have several brand new buildings. Our Fine Art and Design Studio building is brand new. Our Career and Technical Education Center is new. After CTech was built, we were able to fully renovate our welding building. Our student union also received updates. And then I think last month, so it would have been in August or early September, we broke ground on a renovation to our science and math buildings. That only just started and won't be done for a little bit, but we always take the time to put in the funding and effort to making our campus as nice as it can be. And then here are some of the programs we offer at JCCC. This is not by any means inclusive, but when it was inclusive, they didn't all fit without being a size 7 font. So I gave up on that idea. So I'll just highlight a few, but we have so many programs in traditional academic, technical, healthcare, just so much. My little brother did the music and recording arts certificate. So he is now certified in recording arts and can work in a music production studio. My other little brother did art and art history, and he is now studying that at a university in Florida. And then my sister just did general education coursework because she was still in high school. And then for me, I did so much just in the academic field. I took an anthropology class. I took multiple economics courses. I did history. I did humanities. I did foreign language. I did so much. That was partly because I didn't know what I wanted to major in. And that was a great way for me to figure out exactly where I wanted to go. And then we do not have dorms on our campus, but even without dorms, you can get that traditional freshman experience at JCCC. We have over 80 clubs and student organizations. We have athletics. Our baseball, softball, and soccer fields all recently got redone. And then we have our Golden Girls dance team who will both perform at home games, and then they will compete at the regional and national levels. In our 80 clubs and student organizations, we have clubs that are just for fun. Like we have our student lounge where students can use our board game and video game libraries. We have a pep band. We have a swing dance club. We have an international dance club. We just have so much. We have nerdier clubs like D&D and Anime Club. Those are 2 separate clubs, not D&D Anime Club. And then if you were a part of a specific student group that you wanted to meet other students of that group, including things like our Latinos Unite and Always would be there, our Black Student Union. International Club has probably been the biggest club on campus since I started 7 years ago because they connect international students with American students. And they're just constantly doing fun things. And then if you ever wanted to take on that leadership role at JCCC, you totally can. One of my friends was a founding member of the Autism Spectrum Support Club, and he graduated 3 years ago in the club. He built a really strong club, and they've been going without him for the past 3 years, doing very well. So again, if you want to take on a leadership role, you can do that at JCCC. Now, part of what makes college confusing is how you actually get to the taking classes part. How do you become a student? So we'll just go through the steps to enroll to sort of make it a little bit easier to understand. Your first step is to apply to admissions. Now at JCCC, the application is free and takes about 15 minutes. The application will maybe take 3 business days to process. So if you apply on a Monday, by Thursday or Friday, you will definitely have been accepted. And we are a 100% acceptance institution. So it does not matter where you went to high school, your GPA, if you did the ACT at all, or if you did, how well you did. And we have a spot for every single student to succeed, which is why we are a 100% acceptance institution. We have classes that are remedial below the college level to help build you up to where you need to be to succeed. I personally took below the college level math because I took a 6-year gap. I did not do math from the ages of 16 to 22 at all. And I forgot everything. So I had to take a below the college level math class to get me up to the college level. We have everything you would expect on technical and academic classes, but then also we have a really robust honors program. I personally am a graduate of the honors program, and they really teach you how to dig deeper into what you're learning and to use it to aim higher and achieve those goals that you didn't think were possible. For me, it was really empowering. And then also for my friends, that was as well. One of my friends ended up at Carnegie Mellon, where he double majored in physics and computer science. And then one of my friends is about to graduate from her master's degree at Columbia in New York. So she went Ivy League for her master's. So again, whatever it is you want, you can get it here. Your second step is to apply for financial aid. Now we'll come back to this later because finances and financial aid are really important, but just generally, whether you go to us or somebody else, you are going to want to complete your FAFSA. That is the free application for federal student aid. And that could make you eligible for things like grants, which is money the government gives you that you never have to pay back. Work study, which is where you work for the federal government on our campus. And loans, although if you don't want them, you don't have to accept them. They will just be made available. Third step is to attend orientation. Now, orientation is a 90-minute session at JCCC that teaches you the general things. How do I log into my account? How do I pay a bill? We use Canvas. So if you don't have any previous experience with Canvas, we show you how to use it, what resources are available to me, what is campus like, just that sort of stuff. Now, the fourth step is to complete placement testing. Now, again, we do not require the ACT, but that doesn't mean that there isn't necessarily a prerequisite for a class that involves math, reading, or writing. So for classes that have a math, reading, or writing element, we have a placement testing requirement. Not every degree has that though. Like the American Sign Language certificate doesn't have math in it, so you don't have to worry about it if that's a program you're interested in. But if you were interested in a program that has those requirements, there are 3 ways to meet that requirement. The first way is maybe you did college classes already here or at another institution. If you did, you can send that to us and we'll just double check that everything is the way it should be, and you should be good to go. And then your second option is to take the ACT if you did already, or if you were planning on doing it anyway. There are test score requirements for certain classes. Off the top of my head, I know that Comp 1 has a 19 in English requirement. If you meet that and you're in the classes you want to be in based on your ACT score, that's great. You can send it, good to go. But maybe you did the ACT and didn't do very well. My little brother is on the spectrum and he took the ACT and did really poorly. He had a panic attack in the middle of his ACT. He got accommodations. So it was nothing to do with the proctors or anything to do with the ACT. It was just him and his situation. And we knew based on his score that he didn't get into the classes he wanted to be in, but he did have the skills. So what he did, and what many students at JCCC do, is he took the AccuPlacer. The AccuPlacer is a free test at JCCC that accurately places you in the classes where you will succeed, because we do not want you to be in any classes where you don't feel like you'll succeed or you won't succeed, because that's not the point of going to college. You're going to learn, not to be forced into classes where you have no idea what's happening. So the AccuPlacer, again, is free. We do them all day, every day. And then it's a smart test. So it could take you less than an hour. It could take you an hour. It could take a little more depending on you and how long you decide to take on it. So it's very low stress, and we don't use it for admissions or scholarships or anything. It's just, where are you ready to be? That's all it does. Fifth step is to meet with a counselor. Counselors are really helpful. They're experts in the two things they help people with most are making sure that you are on track for your degree or certificate here at JCCC, and then also on track to transfer. Everyone's transfer experience is going to be a little different. I went to UMKC for an English degree. My brother is in Florida for an art degree. My other brother is an undecided junior at KU, and then my sister is in environmental science at CU Denver. All of us had different transfer requirements, partly because we were in different majors, and then partly because we went to different schools. Off the top of my head, I know that I at UMKC had a history requirement, and I know my brother at KU had a diversity requirement, and we did not share those requirements. So again, everyone's situation is a little different. So your counselor is going to be able to guide you to make sure that you're taking the classes that are going to get you where you want to be. After that, you're able to enroll. So I don't have the dates for fall. Those haven't been released yet, but for spring, the schedule is available to look at. And enrollment opens on October 27th. And then enrollment is open until the very first day of the fall spring semester. So that would be January 18th. Now, that's really nice that we have such a long time that you can enroll and change classes. I know for my little brother, one summer, he changed his major 4 times. And now he's still undecided. So if you want to change your classes or your schedule changes or you get a new job or whatever it is, you can make those changes up until the first day of the semester. Your next step would be to pay your tuition. Now, this does not mean pay the big bill right now, please. It means make sure everything is lined up. If you got financial aid, double check everything. Make sure you did everything you needed to do. If you got scholarships, again, just double check everything. Maybe you do still have a bill after both of those. So you can either pay it by the deadline or you can break it up into smaller chunks. Because it is a same semester billing situation, it does not accrue interest. And then the deadline is always a week before the semester starts, no earlier. So what's nice about that is, well, students who do not pay will be automatically dropped from classes. So if you did pay, a lot of the times, if there is a class that is full that you want to be in, you can get in off the wait list after this deadline. That happened to me several times. Your next 2 steps are just to get your student ID card and get your textbooks and other course materials. So nothing that you have to worry about right now while deciding to pick where to go, but those are the final steps. And then what you pay will depend on your residency status. So a Johnson County resident, Johnson County, Kansas, would pay $94 a credit hour. Non-Johnson County, but still Kansas, would pay $112. The metro rate is for people over the border in Missouri in the Kansas City metropolitan area. That would mean your zip code starts with a 640 or 641. And that's the 138. Everyone else, whether you're from St. Louis, Oregon, New Jersey, out of country, doesn't matter. Same price of non-resident. And then the table on the side is just to make it a little easier to know how much you are actually paying. So if you're a Johnson County, Kansas resident, and you're going full-time, which is 12 credit hours, that means you would be paying $1,128 a semester. This is less than a third of what I paid later at my 4-year school. It is a very affordable tuition rate. But even with the affordable tuition rate, we want you to save as much as possible. And so we have a lot available in financial aid. We have more than 300 scholarships available for this academic year. That number goes up every year. And that does not mean 300 people get a scholarship. It means there are 300 scholarships that have a name. So April 1st is always the priority deadline. And then those scholarships range from $100 to $2,000. I did not get any of the big fancy scholarships. They're like, woo, full ride. It has the word president on it, whatever. I didn't get those, but I got 4 little scholarships and that equaled a full ride for me. Some are need-based and do require that FAFSA completion. And then all 300 of those scholarships are on one application that takes 20 minutes and has no essay requirement. It's very easy to fill out. The federal aid is again going to be that FAFSA. Now the March 15th deadline is to have it ready in time for when they look over the scholarship application. So if you're applying to scholarships, get that application in by April 1st and your FAFSA in by March 15th. So 2 weeks before. If you miss that deadline and you still want to come, you can. Scholarship, there's not a whole lot we can do, but FAFSA, you can submit your FAFSA up until very close to the semester starting. And if you need help, please call us for help. I know for me as the oldest, my mom was very confused by the FAFSA, but now with my sister, she's done this, I think, 9 or 10 times through her many children. So it's much easier now than it used to be, but wasn't the first time. So if you need help, please call us. And I just want to talk about a few additional programs. So for College Now, if you are in a College Now eligible high school, there is a grant available to help you pay for that. Excel in CTE is a Kansas state bill that the Kansas state government essentially said, hey, we need more people in Kansas who have these skills to join our workforce. So Excel in CTE is a bill that says Kansas resident high school students can take tiered career coursework with waived tuition. So that means while you're in high school up until graduation, you can get these classes with 100% waived tuition. So what are those classes? That is, again, tiered career courses. So that's things like, a little bit of automotive, some HVAC, a lot of our technical classes, a lot of classes you wouldn't expect too. Like I know a bunch of our computer and programming classes count. American Sign Language, I believe the entire certificate counts, some graphic design, a lot of business and accounting classes count. So again, if you're still in high school, or if you know someone still in high school that's a Kansas resident, this is a great opportunity. I'll sort of skip around on this one just because I think I should change my presentation order. Sort of the natural follow-up of that, which Excel and CT has been around for, I think, almost 10 years. Kansas Promise is sort of the extension of that for students after they graduate high school. Kansas Promise is a brand new scholarship as of July, I believe, where this scholarship for certain programs will be a to the last dollar scholarship that covers all tuition, fees, and books or other course materials. So these are specific degrees and certificates that the Kansas state government hand selected. And it includes a lot in the field of healthcare, including nursing, a large number of our computer classes and programming classes, including, I believe, web development, and I know game design is covered, early childhood education, I believe interior design is covered, emergency medical technician, the American Sign Language certificate. There's just so much that is covered. So if you go on the JCCC website, you can see the full list of programs that are covered. Back to on-campus jobs. On-campus jobs are a great way for students to get that traditional freshman experience, make a little extra money. And then also there are some jobs on campus for those students who are not in county residents. Some jobs will change residency status from whatever it was previously to in county. As a lot of our international students take advantage of this, so their tuition bill is cut in more than half just because they got a job. And then that job pays them as any other job would. But there are a lot of jobs on campus. Our admissions ambassadors do tours, student engagement ambassadors do large fun events. Honors ambassadors do honors things. I wasn't involved when those existed, so I don't know exactly what they do. Sustainability interns, sustainable agriculture interns. I personally was a tutor in the writing center. And then my little brother worked for the journalism department. He had a radio show. He consistently every week only ever had 2 listeners, me and his best friend. But good vibes having low listening didn't matter because he was paid hourly, not based on listening. So again, on-campus jobs are a great way to connect with campus and get a little extra money to help pay for school. And then I always talk about study abroad because a lot of people think it's so expensive and it's never going to happen. I'm here to say that's not necessarily true. It's really special that as a community college, we are able to offer what we can for study abroad. We let freshmen go when many schools do not. We have scholarships available. We're currently working on getting our 2022 programs approved. One of my friends, when I was a student here, I believe she went fall 2016. She was able to do a program in China where she studied 15 credit hours of Chinese language and culture. And she was able to get a scholarship that covered all of her tuition, room, and board. So she didn't pay for her classes or her dorm or her food. She only paid for a plane ticket there, a plane ticket back, a new passport because hers had expired. And then she also got tickets to Hong Kong Disney because she wanted to go. But for an entire semester of study abroad, that's all she paid for. There are programs that are 1 semester, 2 semester, 3-week winter classes, 1 month or 2 month summer classes. I personally did a 1-month study abroad in Ireland when I was a student. And I must say, study abroad is just a magical experience. So if you are interested, please look into it. Don't just rule it out. And then since I'm recording this, if you have any questions, you can follow up by giving me an email. My email and phone number and our website are on the screen. I respond better to email those. So if you're interested in contacting me, just let me know, and then I will stop recording.